Partners Interview, where we explore the organizations, opportunities, and resources that look to make change in our daily lives. I'm your host, Sean Pickard, and you're listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time. Today, I'm joined by Brianna Robinson, the Survivor Support, Group Facilitator, and Peer Support for the Hamilton Brain Injury Association. The Hamilton Brain Injury Association, also known as HBIA, was established in 1986 by stakeholders, including persons with acquired brain injuries, family members, and community professionals to fill a need for peer support after acquired brain injury. Today, HBIA is governed by a volunteer board of directors representing community stakeholders, including individuals with the effects of brain injury, service providers, educators, and professionals. HBIA is a community nonprofit organization supporting people living with the effects of acquired brain injury. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for people in Hamilton living with the effects of acquired brain injury through education, support, and advocacy. We're focused on providing a safe space for persons with brain injury and their families to connect, socialize, and learn. Thank you for joining us today, Brianna. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me today, Steve. I'm doing well. I'm excited to share more about our services and how you can go about getting involved if you're in the Hamilton area looking for support following your brain injury. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Excellent. So let's get into things here. But before we go too far with HBIA, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What is the Brianna Robinson experience? What inspired you to work at Hamilton Brain Injury Association? And why work with individuals with brain injury?
Great question. So yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna. I have been working with the HBIA for about 3.5 years now. I come from a background in psychology, so upon my studies, I found a lot of passion in, behaviors and how people may operate within a community structure, just in unfortunately, when disability comes about, just how to go about navigating certain services. So I've been fortunate enough to learn a bit about the psychology knowledge behind that through my studies. Following graduating, I was provided the opportunity to work at a rehabilitation facility for those surviving with brain injury, Paradigm Rehabilitation in Hamilton. I was immediately very impressed with the service provided. The staff essentially assisted those surviving with brain injury on their daily living tasks that they are no longer able to perform. So very encouraging group of individuals there to navigate them through the recovery. So quickly inspired by the brain injury community and how much people are really willing to give in and give back to the world of brain injury. So following my position at Paradigm, I was presented with the opportunity to join the HBIA. And I, again, was very amazed. It opened a whole new door of the community sponsors and partners that contribute to the programming here, being a nonprofit association. We work tirelessly to do our fundraising events and provide the support needed for those living with brain injury. I do come from a sport background as well. I grew up playing women's field lacrosse, so head injury was a very common topic and unfortunate circumstance when playing competitive sports. And oftentimes, if a teammate had been injured, there wasn't much discussion around support or the effects that may occur following getting bonked in the head. So it further fueled my passion for, advocating and raising awareness and seeing it firsthand on some of my teammates. So I see the importance of raising awareness, and I'm thrilled to be a part of an association that continues that mission every day.
So you have a psychological background and a sporting background doing your day-to-day with individuals with acquired brain injury. That is, I bet you there's a lot of stuff that you come across and go, oh yeah, I've seen this before. And then at the same time, you're looking at it going, where did this come from?
Yes, absolutely. Many questions always. And the world of knowledge too, I'm always happy to learn and share the knowledge equally.
Which is always good to do. But let's talk for a little bit about one of your programs. I came across this on the website and I was very intrigued by it. Let's talk a little bit about bikes, blades, and boards. Explain the program for me, please.
Yes, so Bikes, Blades, and Boards. It's an incredible initiative that was put on by one of our volunteer board of directors. So this individual had recognized the lack of helmet safety protocols within the curriculum at schools. The parents could advise their kids on wearing their helmet, but who knows if they're doing it safely, if their helmet is, out of date, or the structure is improper to do its duty properly. So Bikes, Blades, and Boards was created to share our knowledge of brain injury and the effects of not wearing your helmet safely to school-age children. So it began with in-person presentations, and oftentimes we've seen kids who are now grown on and a little bit older come back to us and say, "I remember the cauliflower drop." So the presentation kind of entailed the 3v1 helmet safety protocol and performing fun interactive activities to show the importance of wearing your helmet properly. So the cauliflower drop was an indication of, if you're not wearing your helmet safely, the cauliflower breaks apart into pieces, much like our own brains. So it's an incredible presentation. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, things did have to adjust slightly. We had a film crew come into the clubhouse to create an interactive video that can be distributed not only within Hamilton, but all throughout. We're not even limited to Ontario at that point. It's open to anybody who's wanting to learn more about helmet safety and the importance of protecting our brains from a young age and, into our adult years. It never stops being important. So that's a very proud project of ours. And we look forward to hopefully being back in person in the schools one day, but having the video created allowed us to distribute that more broadly.
And let's talk just for a moment about helmet safety, because it is so important. And one of the things that I find is lacking is people not understanding the proper helmet for what you're doing. They think, oh, I've got a helmet, this will do. But is it really going to protect them in the sport or activity they're engaged in? So can we just chat for a quick moment about proper helmets? We'll tag on to the bikes, blades, and boards for a moment.
Certainly. Absolutely. Yes. So the motto around the Bikes, Blades, and Boards presentation, I mentioned a few times the 3v1 rule. So essentially with your ears, I know this is talk radio, so I'll do my best to explain, but you're making a 2 on your ears to make sure that the strap is covering the jawline there safely, and a 1 underneath your chin to make sure that the strap is not too loose fitting, so it's not going to fall off your head if a fall does happen. So tips like that definitely help ensure that the helmet is indeed safe for riding, as well as any pieces missing. If there are any cracks in the helmet, unfortunately, it won't be able to protect your brain as it did when it was fully structured. So ensuring that there aren't any cracks or bumps in the helmet's manufactured structure, or any designs as well. Sometimes the designs can impose some limitations. So, for example, if you had fallen on your bike and the helmet is intended to glide along the pavement, this sometimes stickers or extra fun additions could limit that. So it's really ensuring that the helmet is intact as best as it could be.
And CSA approval, I'm assuming?
And that as well is very important as well, yes.
So let's move on a little bit here to Headstrong. I know you've got your newsletter called Headstrong, but how important is that to the community and what HBIA does on a daily basis?
So our newsletter has adjusted in slight. We send out to our community partners and to our family members of the participants that join us at HBIA. We find the awareness portion is of utmost importance to not only share that services like us exist, that are free and available to those who are often isolated following their brain injury. So to get the word out there that there are safe spaces to share the struggles and gain the support from others who can understand. To recognize our community sponsors as well. Being a nonprofit, we depend solely on the support of our incredible community, and it goes both ways in recognizing that they are out there doing the work to fund us to continue on our mission. So to make continue on, the awareness portion is a big portion of the newsletter. And then one of our favorites at our clubhouse is to share the incredible strides in recovery and accomplishments that our members have accomplished. They are often submitting very creative pieces that they've come up with, certain services that they offer. For example, we have a member who is very active in the photography realm and offers their services to those around. So we're always happy to spotlight our members in our newsletter.
Oh, spotlighting the members is very important. But you mentioned a couple things there that really caught my attention. The fundraising and the safe space. So let's talk a little bit about events coming up. I came across things like Drive for ABI or the 5K by the Bay. What's going on with events at HBIA this year?
It's a tongue twister, yes. So I'm very happy you asked about that. Our upcoming event is in June, which is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and that is our 5K by the Bay. It's an incredible afternoon on Father's Day weekend. It falls on Saturday, June 14th this year. It will be held at Pier 4 Park in Hamilton, Ontario. Like I said, an incredible afternoon of resilience, of community, of support. We do a Walk a Mile in My Shoes event for survivors, their loved ones, and caregivers, where they can walk, run, wheel, whatever mode of transportation you need to do a 1K loop around the bayfront. And it's honestly, there's full body chills every single time. It's incredible to see just the power and the strength of these individuals. And when they cross that finish line, we've had some members, get out of their wheelchair and have their family members help them cross that finish line. It's truly empowering and just a very triumphant thing to witness. We offer the event as well to kids. We have a Blake Hayes Memorial Kids Fun Run, another 1 kilometer walk, run, wheel around the bayfront. And there are incredible prizes to be won as well. And then our classic 5K by the Bay, certified by Athletics Canada. We do a 5 kilometer loop around the bayfront, and another opportunity to win fantastic prizes. We often have bikes with proper helmets provided to be won, sporting tickets, a good plethora of prizes donated from our incredible community. We welcome you all to join us. We do customized T-shirts. It is our 20th annual this year, so extra big and a big milestone to enjoy, so lots to look forward to. And then as well, our Drive for ABI is an incredible golf tournament put on in September. Falls on September 15th this year at Flamborough Hills in Coketown, Ontario. An incredible opportunity for our sponsors to network, to socialize. We bring our survivors as well to enjoy the day. To meet some of our community sponsors. And then we do a fundraising gala in November at the stunning Leona Station. And that's another incredible opportunity to network and socialize. and then meet our members as well. They love to attend. So lots going on through the year.
That is a lot going on. Now, you mentioned opportunities for people to meet the sponsors at the 5K or the Drive for ABI, things of that nature. Now, let's back that up a second, because I'm assuming you're talking about members or volunteers. So if somebody wanted to become a member of HBIA or volunteer at HBIA, what's the process? Who do they talk to? What happens?
Yes. So we welcome, everybody and all over. We pride ourselves on being a very safe space for those to join and socialize. So I'll touch on, if you're interested in becoming an HBIA member, you would contact myself. Our phone number is 289-442-4023, which can be navigated on our website at www.hbia.ca. Or send a quick email at info@hbia. We have either myself or my co-facilitator monitoring the emails and the phone calls, and we'd be happy to share our services with you and get you involved. There is an intake process to be done to make sure that you're the right fit for our support groups, and then we can get you started as soon as that is complete. In terms of being a volunteer, it's about the same direction. If you give us a call or send an email, we'd be happy to set you up with one of our events. We do survivor events as well through the year to welcome our members and their family and their loved ones to come out and meet everybody. So either way of communication works for us. We'd be happy to get you connected.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear a phone number in there still. There's not many of those left, apparently.
I know. Few and far between.
Yeah. But let's talk about a success story. Somebody's reached out to HBIA. They have a brain injury. This is what's going on in their life, and they need some help. So without identifying, don't use any names. Tell me about a time somebody did that and the success. What happened when supports or resources were put in place?
Immediately, I have someone come to mind. They joined HBIA, I'd say about 2.5 years ago. This individual was connected with us to share their feelings of severe isolation and loneliness due to having a brain injury. This was shortly following the pandemic as well, which very much influenced a lot of their feelings of isolation and loneliness, but they were still navigating life with a brain injury. So once we got them connected with our support groups, they quickly became a very regular attendee, joining us 3 times a week to connect with peers and others who understood what it is that they're going through. And this individual would often share with myself or my co-facilitator just how influential joining the HBIA was for them. They had lost many friends, and their family members may not even understand what it is that they experience internally. We often say here that brain injury is an invisible injury because there are sometimes not physical markers that express what it is that goes on internally. So they felt very heard and seen based on their injury and what it is that they're going through. So this individual continued to come for the time, and their work had adjusted due to their injury, so they were no longer able to work. Although gaining the strength and support of being a part of our programming, they connected with their previous employer and said, I might be ready, maybe on a part-time basis, but what can we do? I finally have the motivation and the courage again to get back out there. So this individual started on a part-time basis with their previous employer, which they did have an extensive workload. But then they've now come to be working full-time, and they hit 1 year mark working full-time again. And they largely contribute that not only to themselves, because I give them full credit for, putting themselves back out there, but they really contribute it to the group and gaining that support, that understanding went such a long way. They gathered resources of support, of services that could contribute to their recovery. That doesn't break the bank either. So it's really incredible to see their success story, and that's the first one that came to mind because it's very recent. But it's quite incredible what they've accomplished since I've met them.
That is just an incredible story. I love those little stories of hearing about, someone succeed again, and to be able to go back to work, back to something you were doing before. That is a huge, huge step. So much props to that person there. Now, carrying on with that story in just a slightly different vein, what's the one thing that you see happening over and over again to individuals with disabilities today that shouldn't be, and how do we stop it?
How much time do we have? I'm just joking. I see a lot of barriers in almost like a resource manual. So oftentimes somebody who sustains an injury, or maybe they are born with the injury, navigating services that are not only affordable, but accessible, are effective. Each individual is different, but I hear a lot of the times in facilitating that the kindness and understanding of medical professionals or professionals in the field aren't equipped with the understanding of brain injury and the true effects. So there are often many barriers when it comes to accessing services. So I do see a lack of clear resources. And as I mentioned, I'm quite fond of opportunities such as V4A to connect and share the services, get the word out there of what kind of support is available and is free or just affordable within the budget. But it definitely is a large barrier that often I hear in our support groups of individuals accessing, services that can contribute to the recovery. And even if it is a support group where you're just kind of talking amongst others who understand, there's a lot of power in that. And just about getting the word out there, really.
There is a lot of power to being able to look around a room and say, my people, everyone's going through similar. There is such power in that. Let's talk technology for a quick second. The world turns on technology. Day to day, you flip on your computer because, let's face it, we need it to be able to communicate with the outside world, find out what's going on. You get an update. This needs an update. Something else needs an update. What does HBIA do to help individuals with a brain injury from a technological standpoint? Everyone's got their own computer. Everyone's got their own setup, but people need help. Everyone's different. How do you deal with the technology aspect of individuals with a brain injury?
Great question. It's an ever-changing world, and even as we change as an association to accommodate the changing times in terms of technology, we had noticed the importance of having these conversations, and some are very stuck in their ways. They don't want to be introduced, and that's completely fine. But those who are looking for, there are so many tools and resources that are effective on the online world, that if you had somebody to guide you to navigate these, then it would make such a world of a difference. So we definitely recognize that. We had introduced an education series about 2 years ago, and we had a professor from McMaster University join us to guide us in the knowledge of technology. So they created documents for iPhone users of navigating, downloading an app, of accessing the web, how to bookmark a page, kind of stuff like that to keep you organized. And then another one for the Samsung users as well. And then it was kind of a free discussion / we were fortunate to have some student volunteers who were present for that day to sit with us to try out different things on the computer and help navigate helpful resources and tools that can definitely aid them when they're at home or on their own. So that was a great addition, and we, funny enough, we actually are introducing that again this year. We just had our first education series today, and plan to reintroduce the the Technology 101 course again. Many printouts, many handouts, as well as when my co-facilitator and I are present at groups. It's not just a support group day. Often there are tasks that the members can come to us with, and many of them are technology concerns about accessing their emails. Concerns about spam and fraud is a big one, which almost needs its own information topic. And we're always happy to help and navigate tools that can make their life easier. And documentation as well to so that they can take it home and then refresh their memory at a later time. So it's incredibly important, and we're continuing to share the knowledge and set them up for success, really.
That's good to hear because, like you say, technology changes so often. And regardless of whether it's computer, phone, tablet, we have so many options. How do we deal with this half the time? So thank you for having the cheat sheets. Those are very, very important. Now, with all the different programs that HBIA has going on, what one would you say is the most popular among the members?
It's funny. We say Monday is our favorite day of the week, which is not common, but we say this because we introduced a Monday activity day. This was about a year and a half ago. And the activities contribute subtly to the recovery journey. At the end of the day, we find it really creates a sense of community. So as we said, the power behind support groups and looking around a room of individuals who are speaking your language and those heads are nodding in just understanding and in relation to maybe the struggles or even the accomplishments that they've seen. But we also saw a need for the informal support group setting. So we introduced the Monday Activity Day, where activities stem from, for example, some include yogurt parfait days, where we make our own yogurt parfaits. We've had guest speakers join us. We had discussions on mindfulness and accessible yoga. Physiotherapy services have joined us to help show safety movements and things that can assist their recovery. We love a theme. We definitely have a lot of theme days. We're HBIA Blue, so we've done a blue day where lots of delicious food was enjoyed. Park picnics. It's all under the sun of different activities that contribute to the community and the support, where it's very, it may not be as intimidating as a support group. So we always recommend that if you're starting out and you're a little hesitant to join, that the Monday is a great opportunity to connect. It's become so popular, we had to split it up into a morning and an afternoon group. So there's two options in terms of joining for the Monday, and they both partake in the same activity. So I would definitely say that's the most popular or fan favorite of our programming.
That is good to hear. But we have a problem here, Brianna. We're running out of time. So would you care to say goodbye to the folks at home?
Yes, I thank you so much for your time. And if you're interested, please feel free to reach out. We really have an incredible community of individuals who are struggling, and you don't have to be alone. They can really understand what it is that you may go through. It doesn't have to be the same experience. But anyways, I appreciate your time, and please feel free to reach out if you're ever curious about our services.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brianna Robinson of the HBIA, the Hamilton Brain Injury Association. And that's all the time we have for today. I'm your host, Sean Pickard. Until next time, bye for now.